What's up, y'all? And of course, welcome to another alternative factuals video. Now, I promise this video is going to be super duper short. I'm trying to put up a second video for this week, but like many of you know, I am of course moving. So yeah, we're gonna go through the usuals, and I'm gonna go over Black Lightning season 3 episode 10. I know this video is gonna be a little late. Like I said, just a lot going on in my life currently, at least for the moment, and I'm pretty sure my computer will be the first to kind of move over to the new spot. So, you know, before I dive into the details, please be sure to like, share, and of course subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Let me know any suggestions, anything you want to see in video format. And without further ado, let's kind of just dive into today's video. So literally, I just finished watching Black Lightning, and I am just really enjoying what's going on nowadays. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I love Jennifer as a character, always have. Like I said, even though I know they're giving all of the powers of Black Lightning to Jennifer, still, I enjoy her character. She is well written, very relatable, and I just like where they're going with her character in general, as well as the whole Brandon situation and his abilities, and as well as the relationship between her and Brandon. So I'm definitely down for the ride, for sure. Now, in this episode, was very basically, it was very inclusive of the events of, you know, obviously Crisis, basically Black Lightning acknowledging to Gambi that the singular universe is now one, including Superman, Supergirl, and the Flash, and all that other stuff. And basically pretty much going forward that if he needs to, he can call help from the other superheroes. Obviously, at the end of the Crisis, we find out that they kind of form this kind of Justice League kind of situation, or Super Friends, or whatever you want to call it. I think they might go with Super Friends, but like I said, that's pretty much up in the air still. They haven't decided what they're going to do with that as of yet, but we'll get to it when it needs to be gotten to. But yeah, so for the most part, what we're going to be diving into is specifically just I guess what we've seen in the episode. So basically, Black Lightning has discovered that Lynn has an addiction. That's one of the main things I wanted to cover, because I thought it was relatively obvious before based on her behavior, but obviously, you know, we're the viewers, you know, we're the people on the other end of the spectrum when it comes to us viewing the situation from the outside. So obviously it would not seem as obvious to him. Now, what also makes this interesting is the fact that not only did he discover she has an addiction, she's really spiraled out of control. Like, she is gone, she's far gone, and I don't really see her kind of redeeming herself until the end of the season. There's a possibility that she actually might die off, because I feel like by the time she redeems herself from the addiction, she's pretty much going to be like, yeah, I'm done, and somehow ends up getting killed. So we have that information. Gambi is working with the metahuman that we saw a couple episodes back, where he's able to communicate with technology. I forget his name. Obviously the name, if it needs to, it will pop up on the TV screen. I said TV screen, or computer monitor, and basically his picture and everything will pop up, and then, you know, obviously we'll know who we're talking about. But moving forward, we know he's starting to work with him a little bit more, especially because Gambi is going to be finding out who tried to kill him, because he said the purchase to kill him, or the hit that was basically made through Bitcoin, which is a lot more difficult to decode, and that's one of the reasons why Bitcoin even became popular in the real world anyways. So of course, a metahuman who can communicate with technology and software and all that stuff, he can basically finesse his way around when it comes to finding out this information, because like I said, he can talk to software, he can talk to technology, and he can get the know-how of basically any information he wants, simply because he can kind of befriend the electronic devices that he's using to kind of locate and kind of, I guess, use to his advantage for the most part. So that was also very fun. Now, Black Lightning, once again, I like seeing him fight. In general, I just like, you know, overall just seeing him on the screen kind of being a dominant character, because I feel like in this season they're kind of putting him in the back burner, especially for Anissa and Jennifer. I'm more on board with Jennifer than I am with Anissa, and it's more or less just the way that they kind of wrote Anissa to some degree. She's not a terrible character, just, you know, for me personally, I'm not particularly fond of the way she decides to approach things. I'm not saying Black Lightning is always right, or maybe, you know, Black Lightning's way is going to always work, but Anissa is one of those people where sometimes she likes to be hard-headed for the sake of being hard-headed, just to go against her dad when he has experience, and also sometimes he just really is looking out for her. So that's the thing as well. Besides that, the episode was pretty straightforward. It wasn't anything overwhelmingly, you know, crazy. Odell obviously seems to be healthy enough since he got shot. Also, it seems like, you know, they're kind of rolling out the whole metahuman situation with an 80% success rate based on Lynn Stewart's research. I forgot the name of the guy she was working with when she was with the ASA, but that's the thing. Jennifer officially decided that Odell, it has to be stopped, even though I felt like that was obvious as well. But basically, she had to talk with her multiversal versions of herself, basically. And for the most part, I think that's going to be a very interesting watch. But overall, like I said, this episode wasn't really filler, I would say, but more or less just filling in some of the blanks or some information that we've kind of been guessing for the most part about this season when it comes to certain particular characters. So I enjoyed it very much. I'm enjoying Brandon. He didn't have much screen time in this episode until like closer to the end, so that was a thing. This episode was more or less focused on getting the metahuman kids out of there and basically giving the ASA no option when it comes to weaponizing these kids. So limiting their options, basically putting them in a situation where their backs are against the wall, and eventually it'll be Freeland versus the ASA, and then obviously Markovia they can deal with some other time, because Markovia is still very much out there. We just haven't seen them, because pretty much what's going on is they've isolated Freeland, and basically there's pretty much a civil war going in Freeland right now, since technically Markovia can't really get in right now. So there's that. But let me know what you thought about the episode overall. If I were to give this, you know, a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I would definitely give this episode a 7.7 out of 10. Really enjoyable, really solid. It's important for sure. It's definitely important, but you know, it's not one of the highest tier of important episodes, when basically, like, you know, if this episode was missing, the plot wouldn't necessarily fall apart. You know, it definitely could have used it, but it can definitely do without it as well, depending on how you write it. So it's definitely a 7.7 out of 10. So I enjoyed it nonetheless, and it was important, and I think a lot of people should watch this episode. But before I dive off and, you know, do my usual sign off for the videos, for the most part, let me know what kind of videos you want to see. I want to do more fan fiction related stuff, like, you know, the possibility of like Black Lightning possibly siphoning or, you know, tapping into the Speed Force and things like that. More creative things, you know, once a week as well, compared to also very informative videos about plot breakdowns and character breakdowns and other Black characters and all that stuff. So let me know what you think. Like, I want to do all that. I basically really want to do all that, and I want to bring that content to you guys. So let me know how you're feeling about it. So if you're new to the channel, please be sure to like, share, and of course subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're feeling, and I hope to see you later on. Peace out.